Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Wicked Exposed channel, where I am your divine intuitive messenger, Empress J, here to deliver to you another intuitive message from Spirit. To those of you who are new here to the channel, welcome, welcome. Over here, we sugarcoat nothing when it comes to these intuitive messages. Why? Because Spirit wants you to get all the smoke when it comes to these wicked energies. And to my returning Soul Tribe members, welcome back. Once again, as we kick our way through these wicked tarot screeds. Out here on the table, my loves, we already have our two rows of energies. Our first row of energy consists of our current energy, which may be past, present, or future. Followed by these current energies, my loves, or our second row of energies that's going to clarify these current energies by way of thought of the mind or words that were spoken in a way that's going to pertain to these current energies. And with that being said, my loves, I've already prayed and meditated over these energies with the divine. I've also welcomed in my lovely, holy, and spiritual angels, along with my lovely, holy, and spiritual ancestors of Exceeded Master Readery. So we're all tuned in and ready to deliver to you what Spirit wants you to know at this moment in time. So when it comes to these current energies, my love, this first energy card here consists of this man and this woman that are in this dating energy. Now, this woman could be you, collective, who's dating this masculine. You who is back out here on the market and started dating this masculine. And this could also be you, this masculine, right? Who done started dating this woman that's back on the market. And you feeling like you got this new love in your life. Right? The thing about it is, when it comes to you two who are in this energy of dating, right? This masculine is still dealing with these options, even though he's got this new love in his life, which is you. This masculine is still dealing with these options, right? And so this may be something that you who is back on the market and done started dating this man may or may not know about. That this masculine still has these options. This masculine is still dealing with these options, even though he's started dating you, who is this new love in his life, right? And so one of these options, right, when it comes to this second current energy card, one of these options gonna do this pop-up surprise visit on this man, right? One of these options gonna do this gonna do this pop-up surprise visit on this man, right? Because she's been reaching out to this man and can't seem to get in touch with him, right? So that's what this in-person pop-up is about. Her giving him this pop-up surprise visit because she's wanting to know who this masculine, right? Who this new person is that this masculine, right, has in his life, right? And apparently is doing something better for this man than she's doing. That's her reason for reaching out, doing this pop-up surprise visit, right? So when it comes to these two women, right, one of these options that he's still dealing with, and this new love that he done start dating, which is you, who is this woman that's back on the market, right? One of you two are having this guilt about something that you done, right? One of you two is in this energy of having this guilt about something that you done, right? Because you're feeling like this woman here is feeling like she owed this masculine some type of apology, right? Some type of apology for something she's done, right? Because whatever this is that she's done got her feeling remorseful about it, right? And so she's carrying around all of this guilt inside, right? That's starting to get the best of her, right? Because it has her, in this energy of feeling ashamed of herself for whatever this is that she's done to this man, with this man, right? Because see, the thing about it is, when it comes to this woman that's having this guilt about something that she's done, when it comes to this man, right, is that these two are opposites attract. These two were opposites attract, right? And so they decided to intertwine their energy because opposites attract, right? The thing about it is, collective, when it comes to opposites attract, right? It's like this. Just because opposites attract doesn't always mean you should intertwine your energy with it, right? And so that's the reason these two gonna get their lessons when it comes to opposites attract, right? Because the lessons that this masculine gonna get from intertwining his energy with opposites attract, right, is that this woman that this woman that's having this guilt is not your usual type, right? Because it says so on this card. Not your usual type. So this woman that's having this guilt about something she done, right, is not your usual type. Because both of you two have different spiritual beliefs, right? Both of you two have different spiritual beliefs, right? So therefore, this woman here that's on the bottom of the deck, this woman that's having this guilt about something, right? Being that the opposites attract with both of you two, right? And this woman is not your usual type because both of you two have different spiritual beliefs, right? This woman, you know, is feeling like this masculine was living a double life when it comes to her. This woman that's having this guilt, she's the one that's feeling like this masculine was living a double life and was being a liar when it comes to her, right? So this deception that she's feeling like this masculine this deception that she's feeling like this masculine is doing in regards to her is what's going to reveal her true colors of what type of woman she is and what she's into, which is spell work, right? Which is spell work that she's going to start doing, right? To cause some type of deception back at him because he was in another relationship more than likely with you. All right? Because as we head down here to these next rows of energies, right? That's going to clarify these current energies, right? The spell work that this woman was using, right, to cause some type of deception when it comes to you two who are dating, right? This card here says so that things will start falling apart for you two. So that things will start falling apart for you two who are dating. Right? So that things will start falling apart. The spell work she was using to cause this deception is so that things will start falling apart for you two who are dating, right? Because this woman is falling into pieces that this masculine got this new love in his life, right? Which is you, who is back on the market and started dating this man, right? And so one of these options that he was dealing with decides they're gonna do spell work, right? So that things can start falling apart for you two, right? That was her reason. That was her reason for this pop-up. That was her reason for this pop-up surprise visit, right? Right? So, you know, her reaching out, right? Her reaching out is to see who this new woman is, right? Who this new woman is that this masculine done started dealing with, who she feel like is doing something better for this man than she's doing, right? So her reaching out to this man is to give him this fake apology. Because the real reason is to see who this new woman is, right? To see who this new woman is that's apparently doing something better for him than she's doing, right? So she reaching out, giving him this fake apology in person, right? Just to see who this new woman is. Her reaching out in person is just to see who this new woman is, right? Her reaching out and giving him this fake apology is just to see who this new woman is that's apparently doing something better for this man than she's doing, right? So we now know who this woman is that's having this guilt about something. One of these options that this masculine is dealing with since he started dating you, who's the new love in his life, right? We now know who this woman is that's having this guilt about something she done, right? So apparently she's done, giving this masculine some type of apology, right? Which was fake. She done given this masculine some type of apology, which was fake, right? Because what's done happened is this done backfired on her. This fake apology done backfired on her and has her in the energy of feeling remorseful for something she done, for something she done with this man, right? Which was had this tantric sex, right? This what done backfired on her. Her feeling remorseful about something she done, which was had this tantric sex with this man, right? Had this tantric sex with this man. And so tantric sex, tantric sex is like tantric sex is like it's more of like a man. It's more of like a man thing, right? With a person, it's more like a man thing, as well as, put it this way, a man thing as well as having sexual pleasure with this person, right? To form some type of spiritual union, right? And so that's what's done backfired on her. The fact that she's done had this tantric sex with this man, right? And so this tantric sex, right, done backfired. This tantric sex that she had with him done backfired on both of these two, right? And have both of these two in this energy of feeling ashamed, right? Of feeling ashamed that they did this, with one another, right? And so that's basically how these two, ended up intertwining, right? Because these two were in this energy of feeling like opposites attract, right? These two were in this energy of feeling like opposites attract. But this woman is not your usual type, because these two have different spiritual beliefs, right? And so that's what's gonna, that's what's gonna give both of these two who were feeling like opposites attract, this woman that's having this guilt and this masculine, that's what's both of these two, that's the reason both of these two gonna get these lessons, right? Because like I said, just because opposites attract doesn't always mean you should intertwine your energy with that person, because you don't know what you about to get yourself into, intertwining with a person just because opposites attract. So that's the reason these two about to get these lessons, right? Because this woman that this masculine was dealing with is not your usual type, because both of these two had these different spiritual beliefs, right? And so he gonna have his tantric sex with this woman, right? And both of these two gonna get this backfire, because it gonna have both of these two feeling ashamed, right? That they had this tantric sex with one another, right? And so when it comes to you, collective, right? You are this woman who was this love story once upon a time, right? Because as we see here, both of you two, this masculine that was dating you, who felt like this was, he had this new love in his life, and you who was back on the market, right? Back on the market. Now you could have just got out of a divorce, or you could have just got out of a long-lasting relationship. Whatever place this back on the market, is when it comes to you, right? You two had this love story once upon a time, right? Where the both of you two, had a lot of love and feelings for each other, right? So That's what it is when it comes to you. You was this love story once upon a time, right? That when the both of you two had a lot of love and feelings for each other, right? So you are this woman here who is on the bottom of the deck, right? Right? So we got two women on the bottom of the deck, right? We got two women on the bottom of the deck. This woman here that felt like this masculine was living a double life when it came to her, was being a liar when it came to her. So her deception was to start doing spell work, right? To start doing spell work so that things would start falling apart for you two who, had started dating one another, right? And so you here, who was on the bottom of the deck, there was this little story once upon a time, right? Once upon a time, you could have been in this energy, right? Of fighting for what you love, right? Fighting for what you love, right? Fighting for what you love with this woman here, who was claiming what was yours, right? Who was claiming what was yours by way of spell work. Who was claiming what was yours by way of spell work. And so that's how, when it comes to this situation, love is a battlefield, right? Because what you love you, right? But this woman, one of these options, right? One of these options that this masculine was dealing with besides you, one of these options that this masculine was dealing with besides you was doing spell work, right? Was doing spell work so that things would start falling apart for you two. Because she was falling into pieces that this masculine had this new love in his life. So we can get into the tarot to see what caused this love to be a battlefield when it comes to you two who had started dating, and this masculine was still dealing with one of these options that was doing spell work so that things would start falling apart for you two. Alright? We can get ready to get into the tarot. See, on the bottom of the deck when it comes to the tarot, right? This masculine, right? This spell work could have caused this masculine to start having the blues at this house, right? Because could have caused this masculine to start having the blues at this house where he could have lived at with either you or this woman or one of these options that was doing this spell work. Right? So we gonna get into the tarot to see because see, he could have told one of you two no about something. He could have told one of you two no about something. We can get into the tarot to see. Yeah. He could have told one of you two no about something, which more than likely was one of these options, right? Who started doing blood rituals on this man. Right? Who started doing blood rituals on this man, right? To get him in the lover's energy. Right, we gonna see too. We gonna see collector. Okay, let's see. Holy Spirit, I need an energy card, please, when it comes to what caused this love to be a battlefield for these two. For these two who had started dating one another. And one of these options. Ooh, okay, fell right out. Alright now. Spirit ain't playing with this. Spirit ain't playing with this message today. Okay. Oh, okay. So when it comes to you two, who has started dating, right? And this masculine feeling like he had got this new love in his life, right? You, right? You who is this woman, that was back on the market, right? Was back in this single energy, right? You who is this woman that was back on the market, was in this single energy, right? And so that's that's the reason why you started dating this man, because you was back in this single lovers energy, right? You who was this woman that was back on the market, right, was this single woman again, right? So that's the reason why you had started dating this man, right? Because you was this single woman that was back on the market, and in the lover's energy when it comes to this masculine who felt like he had this new love in his life. Bottom of the deck, we got older man, right? This older man that's in the lover's energy, right? Okay. Yeah. So it was because you was this single woman that was back on the market, that was in the lover's energy, and had started dating this masculine who felt like he had this new love in his life, right? What else, Holy Spirit? Ooh. So, isn't that something? So one of these options, right, that did this pop-up surprise visit on this man, right? The reason for her reaching out and doing this in-person pop-up, right, is because she wanted to see who this new woman was. Like I said, she wanted to see who this new woman was that this masculine was dealing with, right? And so once she saw how good, right? Once she saw how good this new woman that this masculine was dealing with, right? Once she saw how good this new woman looked that this masculine was dealing with, right? When she did this in-person surprise visit, right? She was in this energy, right? She was in this energy. She had gotten this energy, right? She had gotten this energy to want to do this hair loss spell, right? She had gotten this energy of wanting to do this hair loss spell. Wow. She had gotten this energy of wanting to do this hair loss spell on one of you two. And I feel like it was you, Collective, because she did this in-person pop up and saw how good you looked, right? And I feel like it was you that she felt like doing this hair loss spell on, because apparently you looked better than this woman. Or she could have did this hair loss spell on this masculine. She could have did this. All I know, she did this hair loss spell. She felt like doing this hair loss spell on one of you two. Because this masculine could have been treating you better than he was doing her, right? This masculine could have been treating you better than what he was doing with her. And she could have did this hair loss spell on this man, right? She could have did this hair loss spell on this man. That's what she's having this guilt about. Yeah, she could have did this hair loss spell on this man because he was treating you better than he was her. That's what she could be, you know, in this energy of having this guilt about. Yeah. She could have did this hair loss spell on this man, and that's what she's having this guilt about. You know, giving him this apology, because she started feeling remorseful, right? She started feeling remorseful, right? That she did this hair loss spell on this man, right? Yeah, she started feeling remorseful that she did this hair loss spell on this man, all because he was treating you better than he was her, right? And once she did this hair loss spell, she got the feeling remorseful about it, right? Because she knows she was the reason, right? She knows she was the reason she had this man, you know, she knows she was the reason she had this man, you know, and she had this man with hair loss. She knows she was the reason she had this man with hair loss. That's why she started feeling ashamed of herself for doing whatever that's why she started feeling ashamed of herself for doing whatever she was doing to this karmic masculine, right? To this karmic masculine who was of another race, right? That's why she started feeling ashamed of herself for doing this hair loss spell on this karmic masculine who was of another race, right? So, you know, you know, this opposites attract. When it comes to this woman that's having this guilt and this karmic masculine that was of another race, right? This could have happened. This could have happened during the winter. This could have happened during the winter when these two, you know, this could have happened. This situation could have happened during the winter when these two decided to intertwine their energy, right? Or yeah, this could have happened. This could have happened in the winter when these two, yeah, decided to intertwine, and gonna get these lessons. This situation could have happened in the winter where these two opposites attract, right? Gonna get these lessons because this woman, you know, that this karmic masculine who is of another race, this woman is not your usual type, right? Because both of you two have these different spiritual beliefs, right? So this situation could have happened during the winter. Could happen during the winter when these two go intertwine with each other just because opposites attract, right? And this masculine goes and discover that this woman is not your usual type because both of you two have different spiritual beliefs, right? This woman is on the bottom of the deck here, who felt like this masculine was living a double life, which is one of these options, right? That felt like this karmic masculine of another race was being a liar when it comes to her. And so by her feeling like, you know, this was deception when it comes to her is what's going to make her true colors reveal what type of woman she is and what she's into, which is spell work, because she discovered that this masculine was in another relationship, more than likely with you, right? So, like I said, this situation could have happened during the winter where these two who felt like opposites attract intertwine their energy and gonna get these lessons because, like I said, this woman is not your usual type because both of you two have different spiritual beliefs, right? So she gonna do this spell work. She gonna do this spell work. This spell work that she was doing could have happened during the winter. The spell work that she was doing could have happened during the winter. Right? The spell work that she was doing could have happened during the winter. And things could have started falling apart for you too. Right? Because she was falling to pieces, right? She was falling to pieces. That she discovered that this masculine had this new love in his life, which was you, who was this single woman that was back out on the market and in the lover's energy of dating this man, right? Of dating this man, right? And because of the spell work that she was And because of the spell work that one of these options was that this masculine was dealing with was using, right? Gonna have you in the energy. Once you start dating this man, because you single and back on the market, this spell work gonna have you feeling like this masculine is sleeping around on you, right? With one of these options. This spell work gonna have your mind thinking and feeling like this masculine is sleeping around on you with one of these options, right? With one of these options. With one of these options, right? Who could also be single, right? With one of these options, who could also be single and in the lover's energy when it comes to this masculine, right? That's why she did this hair loss spell, right? That's why she did this hair loss spell. That's why she did this hair loss spell, right? That's why she did this hair loss spell. Either on you or this masculine, right? Now, yeah, that's why she did this hair loss spell either on you. She could have did this hair loss spell on you because she felt like, once she did this in-person visit, right? Once she did this in-person visit and saw how good you look, you could have looked better than this woman, and she could have did this hair loss spell on you, right? She could have did this hair loss spell on you, right? And so, and this reaching out, to this masculine, right? And this reaching out to this, doing this in-person surprise visit to this masculine, right? With this masculine, once she did this pop-up, right? Once she did this pop-up, she felt like doing blood magic on him. So this hair loss spell could have been for you, because she felt like once she saw you did this in-person thing and saw how good you look, she could have, did this hair loss spell on you, and could have did this blood magic on this masculine, right? This in-person pop-up could have, could have been her, offering him this fake apology, right? And place some type of blood magic in something. And place some type of blood magic in something, right? And place some type of blood magic in something, right? Once she gave this masculine this fake apology. Place some type of blood magic in something. This hair loss spell could have been for you, right? Right? So she having this guilt, right? So she having this guilt. So the reason she's having this guilt, right? Because she know that this apology she giving this masculine was fake, right? Because she put some type of blood magic in something, right? She put some type of blood magic in something, right? When she gave this masculine this fake apology, right? And now, and it backfired on her. That's what she's in this energy of being remorseful about, because this karmic, because it has this karmic masculine that's of another race, feeling ashamed, right? Feeling ashamed. Feeling ashamed of himself, right? Feeling ashamed of himself. That he had this tantric sex with this woman, right? Because she could have used this blood magic on him when she had this tantric sex. Yeah, that's what has him feeling ashamed. She used this blood magic on him when she had this tantric sex with this man, right? And you know, and so this karmic masculine is of another race, right? You know, got to feeling ashamed that he had this tantric sex with this woman, because this blood magic backfired on both of these two. And so he had got on his feelings, right? He had got in his feelings and started spying on social media, right? He had got in his feelings and started spying on social media when it comes to this woman that's having this guilt, right? He had got in his feelings, right? And got to spying on social media when it came to this woman, right? That's having this guilt, right? That's the reason he started feeling ashamed of having this tantric sex with her, because he had got in his feelings, right? And started spying on social media and discovered something about this woman, right? That's what he's, feeling ashamed of, having this tantric sex with this woman, right? Because, these two were in this opposites attract energy, right? And so they intertwined during the winter. They could have intertwined during the winter, right? And that's when his masculine gonna get these lessons for intertwining his energy with this woman, because she's not your usual type, because both of you two have these different spiritual beliefs, right? And so she was doing this mind control spell. She was doing this mind control spell, right? She was doing this mind control spell, right? So that she was doing this mind control spell, right? On YouTube. She was doing this mind control spell on YouTube, right? Who could have also who he could have also, started dating in the winter. That's what made her do this mind control spell, right? On the both of you two. So this masculine could have been dealing with both of you two during the winter, right? And she was doing this mind control spell on the both of you two, right? Because, she discovered that both of you two had a lot of love and feelings for one another. That was her reason for doing this mind control spell, right? And so her doing this mind control spell on both of you two, because y'all had a lot of love and feelings for one another, is the reason why, these two gonna get these lessons who were opposites attract to one another, right? Because this woman was not this masculine's usual type, because both of you two had different spiritual beliefs, right? And so she started doing mind control spell on the both of you two who had this love story, because she discovered that, you two had a lot of love and feelings for one another, right? And so this mind control spell was so that this mind control spell was to make you feel like this masculine had ghosted you, right? This mind control spell was to make you feel like this masculine had ghosted you, because one of these options was falling into pieces, right? And one of these options was falling into pieces, that this masculine was had this new love in his life, right? So she was the reason he was sleeping around on you when you was in this single lover's energy and was dating this man, right? Right? Because this was a dark witch. This was a dark witch that was using this blood magic. This was a dark witch. This was a dark witch that was using this blood magic on this masculine, right? And was could have caused you, could have been doing this hairloss spell on you. This was a dark witch that was using blood magic, on this masculine, and could could have had, did a hair loss spell on you once she did this in-person visit and saw that, this masculine was treating you better than her. This was a dark witch who was using blood magic on this masculine and was doing some type of hair loss spell on you. Yeah, cause she did this in-person surprise visit and discovered that, you could have looked it better than this woman. And that was her reason of trying to do this hair loss spell on you. Right? Like you so and so either this dark witch, or this masculine, right, is this Aries, or they have Aries in their birth natal chart, right? One of these two, either this masculine or this dark witch, is this Aries, right? Or they have Aries in their chart, right? One of these two is this Aries, right? Which could be this masculine, right? Which could be this masculine. That's this Aries who had gotten his feelings and started spying on social media once he had this tantric sex with this woman, right? Cause that's how he became this karmic masculine, right? That's how he became this karmic masculine. That was, who was of another race. That's how he became this karmic masculine, right? Because he had this tantric sex with this dark witch, and then got in his feelings and started spying on social media and started feeling ashamed of himself that he even had, got involved with this woman, right? So it's more than likely this masculine who is this Aries, right? Who could get upset, right? Who could get upset once he starts spying on social media, right? Who could get upset once he starts spying on social media about this woman, right? Once he starts spying on social media when it comes to this woman, and who could get upset, right? Who could get upset, right? Because she's the reason why she's the reason why he's feeling ashamed of himself that he, had any dealings with this woman, right? Just having this guilt about what she done, right? Right? Cause she was jealous, right? She was jealous of this karmic masculine. That's why she did what she did. She was in the lover's energy and was jealous of this karmic masculine, right? She was jealous, right? She was jealous that this karmic masculine had, all this love and feelings for you. She was in the lover's energy and was jealous that this karmic masculine had all this love and feelings for you. That's why she did this mind control spell on the both of you two. And this could have happened during the winter. Where he gonna get these lessons for dealing with this woman that's not your usual type. Because both of these two had different spiritual beliefs, right? And so this older man, right? This older man was in the lover's energy. This older man was in the lover's energy with you, right? With you. This older man was in the lover's energy with you, right? This older man was in the lover's energy with you, who was fighting, who could have been, once upon a time fighting for what you want, right? Fighting for what you want, right? Because, what you loved you. This older man loved you just as much as you love him. And so you could have been, once upon a time fighting for what you want, right? Which was this fighting for what you want, which was this older man that was in the lover's energy, right? Had just as much love and feelings for you as you had for him, right? But being that this woman, one of these options, which was this other woman, right, felt like this masculine was living a double life and was being a liar when it came to her, caused this deception by way of spell work, right? causes deception by way of spell work. And so, you know, this spell work, this spell work was because this masculine was in another relationship with you, right? And so that's how, that's how this love is a battlefield, right? That's how this love is a battlefield when it comes to this situation, right? Because now it's like, did this spell work? Because now it's like, did this spell work? Did this spell work cause this older man, right? Cause this older man to get, jealous of you? Did this spell work cause this older man to get jealous of you? Is the question, right? Because she had both of you two under this mind control spell. So did this spell work cause this older man to get in the energy of being jealous of you? Is the question, right? Is that the reason why this love is a battlefield? Is that the reason why? Because did that spell work that this woman used, did that spell work cause this older man to get in the lover's energy and get jealous of you, right? Right? Because as this concludes what's caused this situation to occur, right? It's like, did this spell work cause this older man to get in the energy of being jealous of you? Because remember, she had both of you two under this mind control spell. And so is that the reason why this was a love story once upon a time? Because this mind control spell had this other woman had done causes this older man to get in the lover's energy and get jealous of you? And is that the reason why this love is a battlefield? Did this spell work, cause this love to be a battlefield for you two? Right? Because as this concludes what caused this situation to occur, right? Bottom of the deck, as we get into what affected these energies, right? When it comes to this situation, right? Bottom of the deck, we got cassette, right? So this could be this older man, right? This could be this older man's energy who had this outdated thinking, right? This could be this older man energy that had this outdated thinking, right? And started conditioning his mind, right? Right? Replaying events that happened between you two. That's how this love story, that's how this situation between you two became this love story once upon a time, right? Because he could have started replaying events that happened between you two and discovered that, this other woman who was not your usual type, right, had both of you two under some type of mind control spell, and that could have been the reason why he was jealous, right? Right? Because it says, what does it say? I can't read what it says. Yeah, this could have been this older man that started replaying events, right? Yeah, that started replaying events over in your head. This could have been this older man replaying events over in your head as to the reason why he had, got so jealous of you. And it's because this woman had both of you two under this mind control spell, so that he could be in the lover's energy of being jealous of you, because she wanted this love to be a battlefield for both of you two. Okay, we're gonna pull 4 cards to see what affected these energies, right, when it comes to this situation. Holy Spirit, let me end the card, please. Let's see. That could have been the reason why this older man had ghosted you. Because he had got jealous, right? I need an energy card, please. So what was the reason why this older man had ghosted you? I need a card for what was the reason why this older man had ghosted you, right? So when it comes to the reason why this older man had ghosted you, right? Right? Because he could have gotten this energy, right? He could have gotten this energy of feeling like he need more time. He needed more time, right? He needed more time to think about, how he was feeling about you. He needed more time to think about how he was feeling about you, right? Yeah, he could have needed more time. He could have started thinking he needed more time to think about how he was feeling about you, right? And so with this takes time, right? And so with this takes time, right? Right? And so this card says takes time in time cycles, right? And time to heal progress. So he could have started thinking that, he needed more time to think about how he was feeling about you, right? Because things take time, right? Things take time to heal. Things take time to heal. And so, that could have been his reason, right? That could have been his reason. It could have been his reason why he ghosted you, right? And started sleeping around on you with one of these options, right? Who was falling to pieces, right? That you was this single woman that was back on the market and in the lover's energy and started dating this man, right? That's what, Alright? Because see, this dark witch was giving this masculine, this love call, right? Dark witch was giving this masculine this love call, right? And when it came to, she was giving this dark witch was giving this masculine this love call when it came to this fake apology, right? And so, this in person surprise visit was her using this blood magic on him. This in-person surprise visit was her using this blood magic on him. Once she gave him this love call and gave him this fake apology, she did this in-person thing and used this blood magic on him, right? And used this blood magic on him, right? And so this blood magic was so that this blood magic was so that either this masculine, this blood magic was so that this masculine who felt, put it this way, this blood magic was so that she could have him, under this spell, right? This blood magic was so that she could have him under this spell of hers, right? This blood magic for him was so that she could have him under this spell of hers with this tantric sex, right? And this hair loss spell was for you, right? This hair loss spell was for you because she, did this in-person thing and saw how good, saw how good you look or felt like, you know, you looked it better, you looked it better than she did. That's what this hair loss spell was when it comes to you, right? This hair loss spell when it comes to you. She could have given you some type of gift, right? She could have given you some type of gift. I don't know why I'm picking that up. She could have given you some type of gift, right? That had a hair loss spell on it. Once she did this in-person thing, this in-person, and she started reaching, you know, started reaching out and stuff. Could have been trying to, like, she could have been like acting like she was, you know, all good with you, right? Because she could have given you something. She could have given you like a gift or something, right? They had some type of hair loss spell on it. I don't know why I'm getting that collected. She could have given you something, some type of gift, right? They had some type of hair loss spell on it. Because you looked it better with her. But this was a dark witch here, right? This was a dark witch. Okay? Yeah, because this was a dark witch, right? That this masculine had this tantric sex with, right? And so, you know, once she had this tantric sex with this man, right? Once she had this tantric sex with this man, right? Once she had this tantric sex with this masculine, who could have been in the butterfly energy, right? Who could have been in the butterfly energy, right? Who could have been in the butterfly energy with you, right? Who could have been in the butterfly energy with you, right? It felt like this relationship was evolving, right? No. Take that back. Take that back, collection. Once she had this sex, because her reason, put it this way, her reason for having this tantric sex with this masculine was to get him in the butterfly energy of feeling like this was a relationship between these two that was evolving into the next phase. That was her reason for having this tantric sex with this masculine, right? Who only got upset, right? Who only got upset once he, you know, who only got upset, right? Who only got upset because he was in the Aries energy. And this magic that she did to have this tantric sex with this man only caused him to get in the Aries energy and get upset, right? And get upset with this woman because he had got in his feelings and started spying on social media, right? And discovered, you know, what type of woman he had got himself involved with, and that's what had him feeling ashamed because he was in karmic masculine energy with this woman, right? And so this woman that's having all this guilt about something, right? Had this masculine, right? Had this masculine, you know, in the runner energy. You know, once he had this tantric sex with this woman, he started being this masculine that was in the runner's energy. That's how come he got jealous. That's how come he started getting jealous of you, right? Who was this love story once upon a time, right? Because this dark witch was jealous of y'all two. And so once he had this tantric sex with this woman, right? He had gotten to, you know, the runner energy, right? That's how he became this jealous, you know. That's how he became this jealous man, this jealous older man, because she was this jealous woman, right? She was this jealous woman when it came to you two, right? And did this mind control spell during the winter. During the winter, right? During the winter. And so that's how these two, this dark witch and this masculine, right? That's how these two, this could be when these two get these lessons, right? This could be when these two get these lessons is during the winter. When this masculine discovered that this woman is not your usual type. because both of you two have this different spiritual beliefs, right? And so, you know, she could see this woman that was jealous right? That was jealous of you, who was this love story once upon a time, right? You about to have, you know, you about to have this abundance, right? You about to have this abundance. So keep a positive mindset, because you about to have this abundance. So keep a positive mindset, right? Keep a positive mindset, because you about to have this abundance, right? You about to have this abundance, right? It says manifest exactly what you want. You about to have this abundance, right? And so, and so this card also says manifest exactly what you want, right? Good luck and bliss, right? So manifest what you want, right? And so if you are this woman that's on the bottom of the deck, that's fighting for what you love, right? Which is this older man that's fighting for what you love, which is this older man, right? Who's also in the lover's energy when it comes to you, right? It says you about to have this abundance, and keep this positive mindset. So if what you wanted to manifest is this older man, then keep this positive mindset, right? Because you about to have this abundance when it comes to manifesting what you want, right? So we're gonna so as that concludes, you know, what affected these energies, right, when it comes to this situation, we're gonna pull 4 energy blocks, right? We're gonna pull 4 energy blocks. We'll pull 4 energy blocks to see what blockages these energies created for themselves when it comes to this situation, right? Okay, so when it comes to what blockages these energies created for themselves when it comes to this situation, right? This masculine that ghosted you, right? Who felt like he needed time, right? He needed time, right? It's because, right? He didn't know whether, he didn't know whether he still loved you or not, right? He didn't know whether he still loved you or not. That's the reason he ghosted you, right? And so he was making, he could have made a wish. He could have made a wish, right? He could have made a wish that he could have made a wish about something when it came to, when it came to love, right? He could have made a wish when it came to love, his love for you, right? He could have made a wish when it came to this love for you. He could have made a wish when it came to, this love for you, He could have made a wish wanting to still have, his wish could have been wanting to still have love for you, because he didn't, at the time, right, he didn't know whether he still had, love for you or not. So he could have made a wish, right, that he still had love for you. Even though he had ghosted you, he could have made a wish, right? He could have made a wish. He could have made a wish, He could have made a wish to heal. His wish could have been, to heal. His wish could have been to heal, right? Heal his heart, His wish could have been to heal his heart, because he didn't know whether he still loved you or not. That's the reason he ghosted you and started sleeping around on you with one of these options, right? With one of these options, which was this Darkwitch, who did this love call, right? Who did this love call for sex, right? Who did this love call for sex with this masculine. That's why she giving him this fake apology, right? And so, that's how she was able to use this blood magic on this man, right? Because she had this tantric sex with him, right? And so this like I said, this hair loss spell that she more than likely could have did on you could have been, this hair loss spell that she could have did, right? This blood magic she could have placed in she could have placed this blood magic in like a drink or something. She could have placed this blood magic in like a drink or something and had it. Either this hair loss spell that she could have had for you could have been by way of gift. This hair loss spell that she could have had for you could have been by way of gifts. By way of a gift, right? This hair loss spell that she could have had for you could have been by way of this gift, right? She could have presented you with some type of gift. Or either this blood magic. She could have placed some type of blood magic in something, and you could have drunk whatever she had this blood magic in, and it was so that you would have it was so that you would have this hair loss spell, right? So that she could get this hair loss spell. And that's how she was able to do this hair loss spell on you. It could have been you could have drunk whatever she put this blood magic in and did this hair loss spell on you. It was something like that. Either you could have drunk whatever she put this blood magic in and did it and was doing this hair loss spell on you if you drunk whatever this was. Or this hair loss spell could have been by way of a gift that, could have been by way of a gift, right? But anyway, like I said, and so once this Darkwitch had given this masculine this love call, and and given this fake apology by way of a love call with this man, right, and had sex with this man, she was thinking that he would get in the butterfly energy, right? She was thinking that he was in the butterfly energy, right? But this masculine, right? Because this masculine had told her no. She was thinking this was a relationship, right, that was evolving between these two. But this masculine, right, once he had this tantric sex with this woman, right, he had started feeling ashamed. He had started feeling ashamed that he even had this tantric sex with this woman, right? Because he had told this woman no, right? Her thinking he was in a butterfly energy, but he had told this woman no because he had got upset once he, got in his feelings and started spying on social media and saw what type of woman he was dealing with, He had got upset that the fact that he had this tantric sex with this woman, right? Because this common masculine was of another race, right? That, had got involved with this woman who was having this guilt about something she done, right? And so once he had this tantric sex with this woman, and it got in common masculine energy, right? By being with this woman, having this tantric sex, right? He had got into the runner energy and didn't understand, and wasn't understanding why he was getting so jealous of you. And it was because of this mind control spell that this woman was doing, right? It was because of this mind control spell that this woman was doing, right? Because he was dealing with the both of you two during the winter, right? And she was the one that was the opposites attract to him, that he had intertwined his energy with. because he was dealing with both of you two during the winter. And she was the one that was opposites attract with this man. And you know, she discovered that he had all this love and feelings for you. That's why she did this mind control spell, to get, you know, this masculine, you know, in this jealous energy like she was in. And he didn't even understand why he was getting so jealous of you. So that's the reason why this love became a battlefield, when it came to, you know, you fighting for what you want. And, you know, which was this older man, and who had just as much love for you as you had for him. And so, but being that he was dealing with this woman who was opposites attract to him, that was doing this spell work, you know, that's how this love became a battlefield. Because he had started getting jealous of you and didn't understand why. And it's because of this, mind control spell that she had did on the both of you two. You was feeling like this masculine was sleeping around on you, and this masculine was getting jealous of you. This masculine could have been also getting jealous of you because he felt like you didn't love him no more. Oh, hold on. Okay, so we pulling some zodiac signs to get what zodiacs these two who were dating could be, which is you and this masculine, right? You who could have been this woman that's back on the market that started dating this masculine, right? You want, or you know, you could have been, you know, single in the lover's energy. You were single in the lover's energy, right? You could have like you could have, you know, been in you could have been in Cancer energy. You could be this Cancer, or could have been in Cancer energy during the time, right, that you were dating this man, right? And no longer was having any kind of, you know, feelings for him once you discovered that this masculine was sleeping around on you with one of these options, right? One of these options, right? I gotta turn these cards around. With one of these options, right? With one of these options, right? Right? Who was this Aries, right? Because I had to turn these cards around. But who was this Aries, right? And didn't know that who could have been this Aries more than likely, and didn't know that, you know, and didn't know that this masculine, who didn't know that this masculine, right, once he started sleeping around on you, was gonna be, you know, getting upset with her, right? Once he started sleeping around on you, she didn't know that this masculine, either he could have been this Aries, or both of these two could be this Aries, you know. She didn't know, once he started sleeping around on you, she didn't know that he was gonna get in Aries energy and start getting upset with her, right? Start getting upset with her, who could be this Aries, right? Right? Because she was thinking that if this masculine ghosted you, right? Once she got this masculine that ghosted you, right? So that ghosted you, he would no longer have no love for you, right? But he had made a wish. He had made a wish to heal, right? Because he didn't want to feel that way. He didn't want to feel like he didn't have no love for you anymore, right? Or he didn't know why he didn't have no love for you no more. So he had made a wish, right? He had made a wish, right, to heal, because he didn't want to be in the energy of not wanting to have any love for you anymore. So her thinking, her being in Aquarius energy, thinking she could give this masculine sex once she give him this love call, right, and use this blood magic on him, right, that this would get him in his feelings, right? This blood magic will get him in his feelings, right? And that way she could place this blood magic. She could have placed this blood magic, like I said, she could have placed this blood magic in some type of drink, right? She could have placed this blood magic in some type of drink. So that when you met up in person with this masculine, right? So that when you met up in this person with this masculine, right? She could, like, this blood magic, right? She could start doing this hair loss spell on you, because you could have also, you know, like I said, drunk whatever this was, that whatever this blood magic was, that she could have put this blood magic in. Right? Because you, right? Because see, you could be this Leo, right? That's gonna discover, right? That's gonna discover she was doing. You could be this Leo that's gonna get highly upset, and discover that she was doing some type of hair loss spell. So you could be this Leo that's gonna get highly upset once you discover that she was doing some type of hair loss spell on you by way of you drinking whatever this blood magic was, right? Right? Cause you know, this masculine, right? This masculine that said no to this woman, right? Because he was feeling like he was in a relationship with you, and was evolving right into the next phase. He gonna get upset too, cause you could tell that you could have exposed this to this man, that's what she done, right? You could have exposed this to this Aries man, that's what she done. That's the reason he said no to this woman, and start spying on social media to see what type of woman she was. And then he done got in his feelings because he had tantric sex with this woman, right? Not knowing what type of person she really was, right? You could have exposed this to this man, right? You could have exposed it to this man, right? You know, you could have exposed that what she was doing. You could have exposed this spell work to this man, right? Who was in the energy of thinking, you know, about you, who was in the energy of thinking that, you know, you was this, you know, very beautiful woman, right? Who was in this energy of thinking you was this very beautiful woman that he was dealing with, you know, that fell in love with, right? You could have exposed this to this man, right? That she did this hair loss spell. You could have exposed this to this man that she did this hair loss spell because you know, you was looking, she felt like you looked better than her, right? You could have been in Virgo energy. You could have exposed this to this man that she did this hair loss spell because she was thinking that you, who could have been in Virgo energy, was looking better than she was, right? That's the reason why she was jealous, you know. That's the reason why she was jealous, and that's why this man told her no, you know. That's the reason why she was jealous and did this mind control spell, right? Did this mind control on y'all too, because she wanted y'all and endeavor energy when it came to one another, right? She wanted y'all in endeavor energy when it came to one another. When it came to this love story, she wanted y'all in endeavor energy with one another, right? That's why this masculine wasn't understanding why he had got so jealous of you. Because of this mind control spell. So this concludes this message, and we're gonna now close it out with what Spirit wants you to know when it comes to what Spirit wants you to do to raise your vibration. What Spirit wants you to do In order to raise your vibration when it comes to this situation, I just need one energy card, please, Holy Spirit. What Spirit wants you to do in order to raise your vibration when it comes to this situation that was once a love story once upon a time. There's one. Thank you. So Spirit wants you to know that feeling fear is a cool feeling fear is a call for love. Feeling fear is a call for love, right? So when it comes to this love story that was, once upon a time, feeling fear is a call for love for you two, right? For you two. Feeling fear is a call for love for you two to fight for what you want. Feeling fear is a call for love for the both of you two to fight for what you want. Right? Feeling fear is a call for you two to fight for what you want, which is this love story that was once upon a time. Feeling fear is a call for you two to fight for what you want, which is this love story that was once upon a time, because the both of you two had all this love and feelings for one another. So feeling fear is a call for love for the both of you two to fight for what you want, right? Which was this love story once upon a time. And so that concludes the end of this reading, collective. And if this message resonated with you, I was glad to be the vessel used from Spirit to give you the confirmation that was needed to start your healing journey. And until we meet next time, my loves, on these Wicked Tarot streets, my beautiful collective, stay blessed and take care.